6 minutes, 6 minutes, Dougie Fresh. Oh my God. Oh my God. That's right. We're about 6 minutes out before showtime. Welcome to the show. I figure I'd log in a couple minutes early so we could knock out a couple of the preliminaries and so on and so forth. That's right. Welcome to Kevin's Corner, where I try to make some sense out of nonsense. Now, if you would be so kind, if you haven't done it already, please check out this number right here, 330-974-4607. And if you text MAGA to that number, I'll make sure you are included on a text messaging chain that will let you know what I'm doing, where I'm at. Somebody said I ain't buffering? That's what I'm talking about, man. You mean tell me I'm starting off buffer free today? I'm buffer free. I'm bufferless. That's what I'm talking about. I like being bufferless. So, now with no further ado, we need to get into this tonight because I want to try to end up finishing the show with 1 hour. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm trying to go with 1 hour. I've been having a hard time doing it. I've been going a little over my time, so I'm gonna try to knock it all out in an hour. Plus, I'm tired. Cyborgs got to sleep sometime. They got to sleep sometime. Now, those that have been participating in my monthly fundraiser, I appreciate it. The link to do that is right below this video. You already know what I'm suffering through when it comes down to censorship, suppression on my channel, and all that garbage from YouTube. And your support helps offset this. I'm trying to wing myself away from relying on demand. Okay. So I'm really trying to say power to the people for real. So if you want to help out with that, the link is directly below this video in the About section. Other than that, hit that like button all kind of ways, man. You can hit it with your elbow, hit it with your knuckles. You can hit it with your nose. I don't care what you hit it with. Just hit it. Hit it, man. So please do that. And don't forget, afterwards, share my videos. And after this show, I'm uploading all the clips, the shorts from the live stream I did the other night entitled Democrats Say the Dumbest Things. So be looking forward to those because they're not going to send you any type of notification. So with no further ado, let's go ahead and get busy. But first I got to get loose, man, because I rock the what? Yeah. Like a what? Real gorilla. Real gorilla. Real gorilla. Kings in the building. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Gorilla in here. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. They ain't going it. Now, guys, the woke done started to wake up and realize, are we the baddies? That's what they're doing. They done messed around and started eating themselves. They done put themselves in a predicament. They done tied themselves in all kind of pretzel knots because they have spent the last 8 years really starting off with trying to destroy Trump, which by default made them try to destroy all of Trump's supporters using these dirty, funky tactics like releasing angry, young, impressionable young people on anybody who they felt was a Trump supporter, including Trump. They released them on everybody. They allowed them to run rampant all over the country, attacking folks and justifying it, making excuses for them. You know what? They're victimized. They're upset. And, it's just property. It's just property. So if they burn your stuff down that you've been working all your life for, shut up. Shut up. It's insured. And you saw that montage of all the Democrats talking about, Brett, this is mostly peaceful protesters. You saw CNN, MSNBC working hard to justify all these Marxist tactics. And then you got our own DOJ, our own FBI, that's pretty much giving them a license to ill. A license to ill. They knew that BLM, they knew that Antifa was behind a whole bunch of these riots, these attacks on churches, these attacks on anti-abortion, movements. I mean, all of this stuff. They knew that these people were behind it. But no, you think they went after them? They directed all their attention towards the grandmothers at the Capitol. See, that's how that worked. So what it did is sent a message to them, especially when the Supreme Court justices had folks outside their crib protesting, yelling, keeping folks up all night. You know how mad I would have been? Man, I'd have went out there, might have shot a couple up in the sky. Plop, 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 plop. Get y'all butts away from my crib, trying to sleep. But nonetheless, they let this go on and justified it. Justified it. And now what they have done is created a monster. Now, this monster goes back way before just the last 8 years. This Marxist movement has been planted many, many years ago, and it is festering. But what it is starting to do is reveal itself in such a way to where even some of the woke folks on the left got to start going, whoa, y'all a little too woke. It's like, remember Richard Pryor? Somebody said buffering bad, unwatchable. What? You got to be kidding me. I'm looking at myself over here. I'm not. All right, let's see. You might have to reset. Say no buffering. People said I'm fine. Yeah. So anyway, hey, remember Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder? Yeah, man. Those two and Stir Crazy, when he was walking into the prison, talking about, he said, "What are you doing? I'm getting bad. If you don't get bad, you're gonna get bleeped." And he started walking, and Gene Wilder started walking, and he looked at him. He said, "You a little too bad." See, that's what happened. They was getting woke. And then these crazy young folks started getting a little too woke. And it was like, yeah, you a little too woke. So now they got a little problem on their hands, and I'm loving it. So let's go ahead and check out how this all has been manifested, and then maybe draw some conclusions on what could possibly happen, considering this little woke war that's going on. These woke folks then received an awakening, a rude one at that. So let's see.
Are we the baddies?
You absolutely are.
The last 3 days have been a real eye-opening period for a lot of people, a lot of Democrats, a lot of progressives, in terms of anti-Semitism on the left.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about, Jake Crapper? What do you mean? It's an eye-opener. Why are you perplexed? I don't understand why Jake Crapper is shocked at what is taking place around the United States in regards to what went on over there in Israel. With Hamas and the reaction that many people on the left is having. I don't understand. See, so we got Jake Crapper seeming to be a flabbergasted. He's shocked. Jake Crapper, you helped create this mess. You and your funky behind network helped create this mess. Now all of a sudden, where did it? Now, if you got a kid and you're encouraging that kid to do all kind of stuff, go over there and cuss that man out. Yeah, go ahead, call him a bleep. And the kid's doing it, and it's funny. It's funny. And then you're sitting there, you got a little 2 or 3 year old. Go on, drop down, girl, get your eagle on. Hey, girl, watch it. Watch how she dance, y'all. Got her down there, dropping down, getting her eagle on. Then she hits about 18, and she's in some club spinning around the pole. Disrespecting you, calling you all kind of names. Where you going? Man, don't be effing talking to me like that. I'm a grown one. And you say, why you treat me like this? What? Don't be shocked. You helped create that monster. It was cute back in the day when she was 5. Now she's grown and she's acting a fool, and you try to reel her in and you're acting shocked. Going to people talking about something. I don't know why she's like this. I mean, I do everything I can. I just try. Well, no. You should have did everything you could in the infant stage when you recognized that she has some issues. But these folks didn't do it. They laughed and chuckled. They encouraged it. Now all of a sudden, problem on their hands. So Jake Crapper is trying to play like he's shocked. Let's see.
A lot of people who seem more shocked at dehumanizing language used by world leaders to describe Hamas than what Hamas actually perpetrated on Saturday.
Yeah. See, so Jake Crapper is he's shocked. He's perplexed because he said, "No, wait a minute. So wait, we're still focusing on what we're calling Hamas versus what Hamas did. So what are we supposed to call them? Freedom fighters? It was an act of terror. So if you got folks on the left that gets offended based off of that, then that means you indirectly are okay with the act that they committed. So Jake Crapper is shocked. But guess what, y'all? Let's find the playground that all of this wokeness exists in. Oh, yeah. Let's go to the woke breeding grounds, y'all. College campuses.
Divisions in the Middle East are currently dividing the Harvard University campus.
Harvard University.
New tonight at 11, a pro-Palestine student group canceled tonight's vigil because they say they feel unsafe, as WBZ's Tammy Mutasa shows us.
This is poppycock. I cannot believe these people from Harvard University is behaving like such. So now we got all of these young boys and young gals on Harvard's campus that don't know how to act. Or should I say, they do know how to act. They're acting just like they were programmed to act. That's right, man. They done been placed on that woke farm right there and been nurtured and fed and fattened up with wokeness. Fattened up with wokeness. And now all of a sudden, all that wokeness is oozing out their ears and nose and stuff. And they don't look so prestigious. They're not able to walk around with their pinky finger up. I do say, would you like some crumpets and tea as we sit and ponder about all of our degrees we have? No, there'll be none of that. Now we're starting to find out that their nice shiny robe get doo-doo smeared all over it. So let's go ahead and check out what's going on that woke campus.
Tonight, you can really sense a charged atmosphere here at Harvard. Right now, the university is facing international backlash after that controversial letter from student groups blaming Israel for the Hamas attack. And now tonight, we're learning a vigil was canceled because of safety concerns.
Safety concerns? Oh, so here we go. Here we go. So now, you got these students, they went out there and they were bold enough to say all kind of stuff, and they weren't concerned about the safety concerns of maybe inspiring some people to get angry at the Jewish population here in the US, or, even all of the innocent victims over in Israel when they came out and blamed it all on Israel. That's right. Israel caused Hamas to go in and, commit all of these acts of terrorists on innocent victims. These are regular citizens. So I guess what they're saying is that's right. No, the Israel brought this on those innocent victims. That's what had happened. And now, all of a sudden, they're trying to go ahead and say, now we're scared because of stuff we said. This is amazing. The left uses this tactic all the time. It's let me go ahead and pick a fight and get mad when I get punched in the eye. But secondly, ain't nobody going after these people. Somebody said I'm buffering now. I might be buffering now, honestly. Oh, wait a minute. Matter of fact, I think on the other one, I just disappeared over here. Let's see here. Where am I? Oh, let's see here. Come on. Where's my gadget? Refresh. Am I still buffering? Well, no, I'm over here. I'm back. Am I buffering? Somebody tell me. Going once. Going twice. I'm fine. Bam. That's what I was looking for. So now, getting back to what these students are concerned about. It kills me when they start getting sensitive after picking a fight. If you go over there poking the dog turns and bites you, don't be whining. But secondly, there's nobody after these people. See, this is what kills me, man. You go ahead and stick your foot in your mouth, and then when you suffer verbal criticism, you become the victim. Now, only folks on the left use this tactic for the most part, but they use it illegitimately. See, oftentimes when folks on the right, when they have these threats, it's usually a manifestation of some real actions. Because the loony left will actually follow through and do something stupid like that. You don't hear about all of these leftists that say, oh, I'm being threatened and all of these, this person criticizing me, I'm getting all of these. You don't hear nobody going after Cortez and Cory Bush and all of these folks who says, you put my life in danger. You don't see nobody going after them. They just use this as a tactic and a shield to keep themselves from criticism. So now the students at Harvard, who was bold at first, came out talking about, yeah, man, Israel brought this on themselves. Now all of a sudden we got to cancel stuff because we scared. Because of stuff we said and brought it on ourselves.
What was supposed to be a solidarity vigil for lives lost in the horrific Hamas terrorist attack and solidarity for Palestine is now just a candlelit sign saying it's postponed because of safety concerns. It's the latest example of rising tensions at Harvard. The canceled vigil comes as Harvard is facing international backlash for not condemning 33 student groups who blamed Israel for all the unfolding violence.
Now, you know what awake the woke up? See, because the woke really think they're awake, but they're walking around sleep. They're sleepwalking. That's what it is. So all of these woke institutions and stuff, you know what'll wake them up? Money, their reputation, their credibility. See, it's easy to sit on a high horse and point the finger and say all of these white nationalists, all of these xenophobes, all these homophobes, and all of this stuff. Yeah. See, we don't run the risk. We're not in danger of the backlash when we throw out accusations and support all of this stuff that the media is supporting and politicians are supporting. But when that backfires, when something happens and it's so egregious that they can't justify their wokeness, you'll see them throw all of those woke peanuts right up under the bus. That's what'll happen. They're like, whoa, wait a minute. This is a lot of backlash. This could destroy our reputation. This could impact our money. This could impact our sponsors, our funding. It could impact all kind of stuff. So guess what? Now we got to come out and denounce some of our wokeness. But are they really? So let's continue. See what happens.
I think the university response was quite late, given that it had been a few days.
Some students, like Elizabeth, questioned why the university leadership stayed silent for days before finally responding to the outrage. Elizabeth's boyfriend lives in Israel.
I'm always on the side that's against unnecessary human suffering, and for me, I just see a lot of unnecessary violence, especially that concerns the civilians in the middle.
This is outright terrorism, and terrorism is never justified.
No, wait a minute. That's a Democrat right there talking about this outright terrorism, and terrorism is never justified. Now, I agree with that. However, I would agree with you a little more if I would have saw you coming out and denouncing all of the Black Lives Matter terrorists that was running around burning down cities, and all of the Antifa terrorists that were running around burning down cities and attacking folks and folks being killed. I might listen to you a little more if I didn't see your whole party talking about these are mostly peaceful protests. These are protests. Look, you know what? Maybe there should be uprisings all over the nation. If I didn't see that, perhaps I might listen to this guy. However, in this context, he's right. It is terrorism.
Some prominent Harvard alumni, like Congressman Seth Moulton, denounced the pro-Palestinian statement from student groups and the delayed response.
We can have a healthy intellectual debate that holds up Palestinian rights while also criticizing the barbarous acts of terrorism by Hamas.
Ooh. See, now they had to go ahead and try to straddle the fence. See, now you're sitting there trying to balance that wokeness. Now you're trying to juggle it all. Because you might have offended some of your precious Islamic students and Muslim supporters and so on and so forth, which for a long period of time was off limits. I mean, you couldn't say nothing about somebody who was Muslim, somebody who was Arab. You couldn't say nothing. And then now they come out and they support something that was so bad that you can't even figure a way to do that. So now let's see how they handle this, because they're now starting to condemn some of their woke folk. It's getting condemned. And here is somebody at Harvard. Let's see what she has to say about it.
First, Harvard's president sent out a statement condemning the terrorist atrocities, but did not directly address the student group's message. In a second statement, the president was more direct, saying in part that while our students have the right to speak for themselves, no student group, not even 30 student groups, speaks for Harvard University or its leadership.
Oh, the heat is on. The heat is on. Yeah. The heat is on. So now it appears that the heat's on these students. They thought their wokeness gave them diplomatic immunity. That's what they thought. They sitting like, we're good. We're woke. They done went ahead and convinced us that we can do anything and get away with it. We can say anything and there will be no criticism. The woke university who imputed all of this in us would never, ever judge us. And now the heat is so hot that the university had to drop these woke folks. So, yeah, that's good right there. Let's see. While students have the right to speak for themselves, those student groups, not even, oh, wow, 30 groups. Now, that's a lot. That is a whole heap of groups. Speaks for Harvard University or its leadership. Man, I wonder why aren't they just tolerant and stuff like that when they all be upset about folks coming to the university to talk about stuff like transgender rights and all of that stuff. I wonder why they don't come out and condemn that. Be like, hey, these students out here just crazy and throwing stuff and whining and flipping over tables do not represent the leadership here at Harvard. But you don't hear that. But this right here, it done filtered over into the business district. So now they can make choices. See, money talks and bull crap walks. You want to wake up woke folks? You want to really get the attention of these woke universities, these woke companies and all that stuff? Start tapping their pockets. Look how quick Bud Light woke up. They was in the middle of the REM sleep. Like Big Bird. What? The Starfield? Hold up. Wait a minute. Now, look, we're pro-man. We're all about America. Putting out all kind of crazy commercials. Listen, this place was built on American values. Here at Bud Light, we support America. And I'm going, a little late. Minute ago, y'all had the rapid eye movement. But woke up just like that when the money got tapped. Say, what about the NFL? Remember how woke they got? Came out there taking that knee. All of those owners, we stand with our players. Or should I say kneel? We kneel with our players. What? Nobody's coming to the games and the ratings is dry. Get y'all butts up. Get up. Get up. Hey, everybody, look, man. If y'all don't want to stand up, stay in the locker room, okay? From now on, y'all stand y'all butts up. See how quick they woke up? Just like that. Eyeballs open. Like somebody threw cold water on them in the middle of sleeping. So here we go.
We should have reacted earlier. I think they actually cared about how we felt.
No word on when that vigil will happen again. The students were too afraid to even speak with us. Cambridge police say they have not received any threats involving faith-based centers, but they have increased patrols in the city. Because
it's all in their mind. See, the woke is always going to find a way to be a victim, even if they're not. That's right. It's all in their mind. Most of the stuff that they're running around fighting for is all in their mind. They have been brainwashed by the same institution that's throwing them under the bus right now. They have been brainwashed by people like that Democrat that we saw upset now. They've been brainwashed by people like Fake Crapper. See, and so now all of a sudden in their mind, even when we're wrong, we're right. So they go from being attacking innocent victims by justifying what Hamas did to now being the victim and thinking that everybody's coming after us. So we're scared to even come out and talk. No, what you're scared to do is suffer the consequences of your action. Because if you come out and talk to somebody, you only going to do one of two things. Either you're going to come out and say, hey, look, man, I wasn't a part of this. I don't even take them folks. They ain't got nothing to do with me. In fact, I'm denouncing them. Or you're going to come out and you're going to try to justify the statement, which unfortunately is going to lead to some more heat. So they decided, let's just go ahead and play the we're victims and scared for our life card.
Secretary of State Anthony Blinken and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu holding a press conference in Tel Aviv this morning, comparing the brutality of Hamas to ISIS. Meanwhile, Harvard students are scrambling to take back their support for a letter which claims, quote, the Israeli regime is entirely responsible for all unfolding violence, as some business leaders are now looking to blacklist these students for writing that from future jobs. At least a dozen CEOs are now endorsing the CEO of hedge fund giant Pershing Square Capital Management. That's Bill Ackman. Bill Ackman is calling on getting the names of every student who wrote that letter and denying any hiring of those students from those student groups. Take a look.
Woo, it's getting hot up in there. And folks running around like they shooting. Folks dipping and diving. Yeah, man. You ever seen? Yeah, see, now you might not have seen something like this, but you know, growing up in the hood, every once in a while, real pop, 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 pop. and you see people running. They don't even know where the bullet's coming from, but you see them dodging all over the place through a parking lot or something. They ain't gonna, ain't no cars in the parking lot. You still dipping and diving, all over the place. They shooting. So now these folks up at Harvard is like, oh shoot, they shooting. They coming after us, and now they're trying to avoid this. These students are coming out like, whoa, 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 whoa. I thought I had woke immunity. I had woke privilege. I thought we automatically get jobs because that's the reward for our wokeness. No? So wait, man, I'm just going to be woke and broke? I don't want to be woke and broke because that's exactly what's going to happen. Their wokeness is about to lead to brokenness. Oh boy. So that whole Harvard University education could be worth nothing more than rubbish, complete toilet paper. That's exactly what it would be. Papyrus. I graduated from what school? Oh, okay. You graduated from university? Uh-huh. Can I see your credentials? Why not? Because I've been blackballed for going out there and saying stupid stuff when I was woke. Now I'm broke. So can you please give me a job in spite of my youthful stupidity? No? Okay, I'll go to the next. See, that's what's going to happen. So now all of these woke folks are trying to get a revelation at the last second, but it might not work, y'all. Now, see, here's the crazy part. Sometimes this mentality can breed itself out over time. Maturity might take care of some of this, but oftentimes, especially in today's culture, which there's no safety nets designed to breed this out of them. If anything, everything is encouraged to keep this mentality going. So when this becomes a agenda of powerful folks, powerful entities, communication networks and news networks and all of this stuff, everything's designed to keep you in this woke mind, which basically keeps you asleep. See, that's the thing that these kids don't realize. So it would be one thing if there was some bumper rails to wake these folks up as they get older. See, I didn't get hit with all of this when I was in college, so life woke me up. I probably would have been a little woke, not as woke as these folk, but my point is, life woke me up. There was nobody sitting there saying, Kev, you're a victim, and they was like, dude, you know what? You ain't gonna be nothing if you don't pull yourself together. You understand? Ain't nobody gonna give you nothing. Ain't nobody gonna cry for you. That's what woke me up. It was folks saying, man, I'm gonna leave you to your own devices. I'm not gonna jump out there talking about all of his choices wasn't his fault. And it's all because of systemic racism and slavery. And that's the only reason he was acting a fool and doing all kind of stuff like that. There was nobody out there saying that. So when life got hard, I started saying, man, I need to make some choices or it's gonna be a problem. But these folks don't have this stuff to help wake them up. Now, not having a job after going to Harvard might be one of those things that'll do it if they hold true to it. If they really go ahead and, unfortunately, show these kids that, yeah, sometimes your wokeness has major consequences.
Look at the New York Post cover this morning. Schooled in hate. Bill Ackman, Wall Street wants names of Harvard Israeli bashers, so it does not hire them. Mark, your reaction.
Well, I very rarely agree with Bill Ackman, but in this situation, I think he's 100% on point. Anybody that supports murdering and raping women, beheading babies, all that stuff, they're unemployable, right? And I want to know who they are so I can make sure I'd never hire them. They are low character people, quite obviously. But, you know, there has been a few students that have come out and said that, hey, don't kill me. You know, I wasn't part of this. That was just the group I belong to. But really, I mean, if that's your position, if your position is I don't agree with what my group said, then you need to formally denounce what they said, denounce their positions, and you need to withdraw or resign from the group.
Yeah, because I'm going to tell you right now, I would have came out there and threw my whole woke group under the bus. Man, I don't know them dudes, man. I swear to God. Man, you better stop lying on me, man. I don't know them dudes, man. I don't know how my name got on that list. I'm telling you, man, somebody posted, you know what, they put my name on the list, man. I don't know nothing about this stuff, man. Matter of fact, I'm Jewish. I'm Jewish. I'll be up there throwing them all the way under the bus. I might come to the interview with a yarmulke sitting on the back of my head. Come in, dancing, having a great time, eating gefilte fish. Come in there straight Jewish. Yeah, have the long beard and the little curls that hang down in the hair, full wig. Talking about, man, I'm denouncing all of these folks. Oh, yeah, some kosher, some hummus. I'd be like, anybody got some hummus? Hummus? I would be straight Jewish, man. Oh, boy. Okay. Let me get serious. I ain't even mean for this one to be a funny one tonight, y'all. But hey, you know, it's good when you can find some comedy in such a crazy time. All right, so here we go, y'all. Let's find out some other opinions about this.
I'm just wondering, where does this uninformed, group, where do they get their information? Do we not all understand how this started?
They are not uninformed, Maria, and that's the thing that's so terrifying. You know, back in the day when I was in university, I was friends with all sides of the political spectrum, Hillary people, Trump people. The dividing line in the sand really were these students for justice in Palestine.
Now, see, guys, the thing is, they're not uninformed, they're misinformed. There's a difference. They're misinformed. They think they have knowledge, but the knowledge they've been given is designed to create radicals, angry folks, to buy into this philosophy that anything that I even perceive to be oppression, injustice, even if it ain't, I don't need to get into the details, the history. I don't need to know anything about that. I'm going to jump on the bandwagon of any group that says we're a victim, except white men and women. That's the only two groups we will not support. I don't care how victimized they are, but that's the mentality that they have been bred to project. So yeah, they think they have knowledge. It's just incorrect knowledge. And all their reasons aren't real reasons. It's impulse, it's emotions, it's anger, it's hate, and it's all justified by saying we're not the baddies. But now we're going to find out that maybe they are the baddies.
Have always been, I joked back then, every one of them needs to be on an FBI terror watch list, but they know fully what's going on. But when you exist in the Marxist framework of there are oppressors and the oppressed, and everyone is a victim of someone else, and no one has any responsibility for their own actions, which is also antithetical to what Islam teaches, right? They don't care about Islam itself as the religion. It is a death cult. It's the same way that you see Hamas fighters saying, we don't care about preserving civilians. Dying for the cause is a good thing. That is
There you go. That's the mentality. It's greater than your personal, freedom, your life, your safety, all of that. That's exactly what this mentality is. It's, what? We don't care how it impacts your family, your life, and all of that. You guys are just simply victims of this by default. And we don't care about that. Their conscience has been sheared when it comes down to feeling remorse over innocent victims, because in their eyes, even if you're on the other squad and you have nothing to do with this, you're collateral damage and it's worth it. You're guilty just because you're on the other squad, even if you're not like participating or anything. And that is why you have BLM, you have Black Lives Matter and Antifa attacking innocent folks that they knew nothing about. People would just pull up to the stoplight. They'll just grab them out the car and start beating them. Stuff like that. For all they know, these people could have been Black Lives Matter supporters. But they didn't care. It was all about, let me just display this anger and use this opportunity to go off, because I am not going to be held accountable, because there is a greater entity with power that has stamped me and said, I approve this. Go out, harass, destroy, tear up, disrupt, all of that, long as it's in the name of we're fighting against fascism / conservatives. See, you could take out the name fascist and put conservatives in there, because the people who empowered these folks and encouraged them really care nothing about They ain't going fascism and all of that stuff. They're saying conservatives. We want them. We want them out of here. Patriots. Folks in America that love the country and do not support our values and our political views. So therefore, go out and we're going to go ahead and help you by giving them some names. You want to some good names that'll make you feel good about what you're doing. How about fascists, racists, white nationalists, xenophobes, homophobes, all the folks. You can make some up too. You can make some up. That'll make you feel good about beating up old people, beating up innocent folks, burning down businesses. And then you'll turn on the news and you'll see them. I want to be clear. This is most peaceful protests. And Cal Rittenhouse is a white nationalist who went down there to kill folks. He hates blacks, even though he killed 2 white people. But see, that's what you get. And that's what they got. So they're getting a rude awakening now. Like, oh, we the baddies.
Lesser culture. And that's what these SJP protesters and that's what these Harvard students have been advocating for. The idea that it is a positive good for these decolonizers to murder civilians, execute babies, rape women.
Oh.
And you know what? This is super scary, but this is what happens when as a country we take our eyes off the ball.
What?
Right?
What you mean?
We've been so focused on LGBTQ, IA, what alphabet soup, that if you make an anti-trans comment, a school like Harvard will kick you out of school.
Oh, now see, this man might have a point. Because I guarantee you, if somebody came out there and said, you know what, I don't believe that kids should be able to transition before they're 18. What? That's right. You know what? Let's get this white nationalist, xenophobe, homophobe, transphobe out of here. See, you would have got bounced off campus for saying anything like that. But right now, these students, they're still just in hiding, I guess, on the campus grounds. And I guess they're just waiting for it to blow over. Now, I don't suggest these kids should get kicked out of school. However, when it comes down to the workforce, like they were saying, hey, here's what it is, man. Freedom of speech can cost you. It can cost you. See, I bet you now they're wishing that somebody would have went ahead and banned freedom of speech to keep them from themselves. I wish they would have suppressed our speech because we just spoke ourselves right into a butt whooping. So this man got a point. While we're running around talking about gender neutrality and pronouns and stuff, and you know what, merman and merwoman and all of that stuff, and don't be calling me sir, and don't be calling me all of that crap. This is also what it is breeding. All of these other little micro issues are a symptom of a greater issue. So when something big like this happens, see, you could tolerate them whining over pronouns. But when something big like this happens, and now you see the full manifestation of the mentality that you have been breeding these kids to have, you're shocked. See, it was cute when they was running around talking about pronouns, running around talking about fascists, white nationalists and stuff. That's cute. It's cute. But then they were not able to put a governor on it and went too far. Yeah, well, you know what? Since we got away with all of this stuff, yeah, you know what? The Israel is... And that's where they got their butts in a little bit of a pickle.
You're gone. But you can support this terrorist act and you can hide behind anonymity, which is completely cowardly. And when you take your eye off the ball and you focus too much on woke things, then you stop realizing who the real terrorists are, where the real evil is, where the real dangers are. And that's what we're dealing with right now.
And we see that played over and over again. Why was the FBI targeting school moms?
They're
Football
terrorists,
moms.
right? Yeah.
Why?
You're
Why were
targeting...
they being called domestic terrorists? Why did they miss the intelligence of Hamas planning an attack on Israel?
Someone tell me why? Why? So why in the world was Christopher Raggedy Ray running around having the FBI go after all of these moms? Go after all of these folks that's simply talking about some, hey man, you know what, get away from my son here. We're just simply out here to support, pro-life. Hey man, back up, man. FBI busting down folks' doors. Get your butt out here. I don't care if your kids is watching. All of that mess that went on. All of this stupidity that our Department of Justice have been distracted by. All of this wokeness. See, that's the problem. Wokeness then took their eyes off the ball too. Because see, they're trying to go ahead and wake all of us, should I say, put us all to sleep. That's what they want. The whole country is not asleep yet. See, the folks running around woke are really asleep. So, they're done. They're done. Now they're like, all right, let's turn our attention to all the real folks that are awake. We want to make them woke, not awake. So now all of this effort to demonize us, to attack us, to intimidate us, and then you get this. You get stuff like this. Maybe if they would have been paying attention, well, on what's going on around the whole world, instead of old folks walking around the Capitol, they might have caught some signs that this crap was about to happen.
Absolutely. Again, taking our eye off the ball, and we're targeting the wrong people because they don't subscribe to the woke ideology.
If you want to talk domestic terrorists, do what France did. France is keeping lists of everyone who is supporting Hamas, and if they are non-citizens, they are deporting them. We need to be doing the exact same thing.
Absolutely.
Not just because of the terror on our campus, but also the terror that's flowing through the southern border. If the FBI really wants to kick it into high gear post 9/11 style, find the people who are cheering on an active Holocaust, the worst massacre of Jews since Hitler.
Yeah.
Focus on that. Deport those people.
Well, wait a minute. Wouldn't you be xenophobic? Wouldn't you be Islamophobic if you did that? Remember Trump was like, I'm calling for a ban against. And they had a fit. He was xenophobic. You gotta be kidding me. And France got some nerve because they brought in so many folks from broken Arab countries, and then they suffered their whole little slew of terroristic attacks and all that stuff. So, I mean, there's a lot of that you brought on yourself. However, I'll go one step further, lady. While we're swooping up any folks from other countries that might have came here overseas, swoop up the rest. All of the ones that have come from South America because the Biden administration. Come on, search the border. Get them all while we're getting them. Get them all. Don't just limit it to just, if you're a person that supports Hamas, you got to go. No, if you're a person that says, I come here for a better life, they told me to tell you the climate change is so bad that I had to come to America. I forgot my excuse. Oh, wait, no, there's gang violence. No, wait, what did I say the first time? The climate change and gang violence. Both of those. See, that's a problem. So everybody got to go. Now, what's this?
A Hamas celebration rally in Times Square organized by the far left, socialists, and Palestinian nationals. A speaker talks about the Islamist attacks that killed hundreds of Israelis, mostly civilians, and the crowd cheers.
Early morning on Saturday, October 7th, our resistance stormed illegal settlements and paraglided across colonial borders.
What is a resistance? I mean, a resistance. Somebody said they unsubscribed you. Oh man, thank you for resubscribing. Unbelievable YouTube, man. Anyway, so resistance means you're being attacked. See, I don't understand how you can sit back and throw this out here attack. Our resistance launched missiles and we just swooped in and start killing innocent civilians. That's not a resistance. I can resist somebody coming to my door. You coming to my door, I'm going to stand my ground and I'm going to resist. But for me to go outside and find a dude walking the street, minding his own business, just walking his dog, I run up, jump on top of him and start going to work. That's not a resistance. That's an aggressive attack against a person minding their business, especially if this is a person I ain't even got a beef with. Here I am. I got a problem with my neighbor across the street. Me and him been barking at each other like two dogs behind a fence. And all of that. And then all of a sudden, one of his cousins come over, don't even know nothing about us beefing, ain't got nothing to do with it. Happened to go outside to play a game of kickball, and I decided to come out there and drop an elbow on him. That person's going, what I do? So that's exactly what is happening over there. And here she is. Our resistance launched an attack, and then, see, stupid, man. Just stupid.
All right. In this operation and Oxfam,
So are you part of the
the resistance fires more than 5,000 rockets.
Look at him. Our resistance fired more than 5,000 rockets. You forgot about the part where they parachuted in and start killing and hacking up innocent victims and killing old people and parading people's bodies around and raping women. Forgot about that part. You want to talk about the rockets. See, so all these people over here cheering, maybe you should grab them by the back of their necks, take them over there like you do a puppy when they poop or pee on the floor, and show them the carnage. You think this is cute? All you hear now, oh, we did stuff and we fired rockets. How about you look at this? Somebody said, new subscriber, thanks. I'm going to go ahead and look you up. So now, grab them by the neck and say, this is what this looks like. This is what your resistance looks like. Show them some video footage of innocent people minding their business, kicking it. And then all of a sudden, these people just drop in and start slaughtering folks. This is sad, but all of these young, foolish, dumb students are radicalized. It's greater than all of the victims because it's for justice. It's for stuff I don't even know really what's going on. I just want to be a part of stuff. Most of these people I'm looking at, they're not even from Palestine. It's two black folks standing up there with a big Palestinian flag. What are they doing? Oh, jeez, oh, man. Funny part about this, if you take those two black folks over there and you drop their butts off right now, over there in Palestine or with Hamas, you think they would be impressed? My brother, very, very good. Come, hug. Yes, that's right. Allah Akbar. Assalamu alaikum. You think if they brought them over there, they would be embraced? They might find themselves reading a note. I'm over here with Hamas. America is an infidel country. And the freedom of Palestine. Could you tell my mom could come get me, please? No, can I say that? Can I ask my mama to come? No? Okay, just read the letter. Okay, all right. So you might find one of them doing that. But here they dumb butts over there talking about some, yeah, free Palestine. Where's that at?
Yeah, that's the official Democrat Socialists of America in New York City, at least.
And you're right. Somebody said, who funds both sides? You are absolutely right. America's big fat knuckles got their hands in both sides. I mean, I'm so mad at the Biden administration to drop that money, man, over there. I'm just like, oh. But anyway, that's another topic for another day. Here we go.
At least the New York City faction essentially celebrating Hamas's attack on Israeli civilians. So we're the side of extremism. You're obviously noticing a trend here, right? What? These American far-left socialist LARPers have convinced themselves in their own minds that they are freedom fighters and they support these sort of freedom-fighting causes. They've become so warped in their thinking, so convinced by their own lies, that they are willing to justify the worst type of action. In fact, they're willing to celebrate it as some sort of fight against oppression and apartheid. And we see it with everything, right? During the Black Lives Matter and Antifa riots, what did we hear from these far-left socialist types? The same thing over and over again, that people's actions were justified, that the only way to combat fascism is to, quote, bash the fash. Violence is justified as a response to oppression. Yeah, well,
that's right. Liberal hive mind, you ain't never lied. Bash the fash. They should have took big caveman clubs and started hitting themselves in the head. Bink, bink, bink. Because they're the fascists. They're the baddies. That's what it is. But now all these politicians and leaders are shocked, flabbergasted that these young organizations and young people are so radical and angry and hateful.
Well, that's a LARP, and in this case specifically, what are they justifying? What are they celebrating? They're clearly taking a stance here, but none of it makes sense. They're celebrating this vicious attack, supposedly against an oppressive regime. But from what I'm able to see, the only attack here, or I guess the only target of these Hamas attacks, seems to be innocent civilians.
Now, isn't that strange? So let me get this straight. Here you are. I've been talking stuff, man, when I see this dude, I'm going to whoop his tail. And then he shows up and he's about 6'8", 300 and something pounds. But he got a short little person next to him. And I'm like, you know what, man? And I start beating up the little person. And the little person's going, why are you hitting me? See, you only people getting attacked is me. I ain't got nothing to do with this. I can't fight back. I'm not big. I'm beating up a 9-year-old over here. Looking at the big guy. Talking about, you brought this on this little dude. See what you made me do to this little dude right here? So now, these people are talking about the resistance and we're fighting against injustice, and it's about doing what? Attacking innocent people that have nothing to do with it. And I always need to put this disclaimer out there. I do not justify that strategy of warfare from any country, whether it be them, us, whoever. You should never sit back and say, let me go after innocent victims as a war strategy to attack the bigger entity, which you don't even attack them. I mean, they notice they didn't go in parachuting right there into the Israeli military. They didn't do that. They found a soft spot. That's what they did. They found a soft spot and they flew in there. And then what did they do? Start shooting rockets long distance. They didn't want no real hand-to-hand action. So now here they are. Let's stay over here and shoot rockets and see what happens. Oh, wow. Did we hit something? No, the Iron Dome got it? Oh, man. So we just killed a whole bunch of innocent people for nothing? Okay, maybe we should have went into Israel and actually tried to fight with their military. Think that might have worked a little better? No? Just keep firing rockets? Okay, we're just wasting them. You know that. They're getting shot down. Okay, well, we'll keep doing it. That's what happened. And here they are celebrating it. Just because you fired all those rockets over there, they got shot down. I was watching a video the other day. I don't know what they say we don't have lasers. But boy, Benny Johnson, he showed me a video, man, where something was coming out the sky, shooting down all these rockets all over the place. And it wasn't the Iron Dome rockets. I'm like, what is that? And last night, if you saw my show, where I was talking about Democrats and gun legislation. Yeah, I want one of them laser / rocket things that shoot down missiles. I want one of those too. So let's go ahead and continue hearing about these people who are tolerant and all of that.
All of these LARPing leftists, somehow cheering as if it's an oppressed uprising, are essentially cheering on horrific, violent events targeting innocent civilians going to music festivals. That is essentially what far-left activists are cheering on. They're essentially making the argument that Hamas's actions in this case are justified. In fact, not only justified, but it seems like there's people across the Western world, in various cities across the United States, Canada, Europe, and Australia, essentially openly cheering on and celebrating Hamas's actions in Israel.
There's London. Now, all of these places are all countries that are woke. Their government and their leaders have been promoting wokeness. And now this is what you get. Free Palestine. London. Spain. Washington, D.C. Canada.
A tweet from Black Lives Matter Chicago.
Wait a minute. Black Lives Matter. Do they? Do Black Lives still matter? Because they done went completely off the rails. They haven't meant Black Lives Matter since they started. I mean, that's just a slogan used to go ahead and give them anonymity when it comes down to acting a fool. Let's put black on it, and then this way we can say anybody who challenges us or criticizes us is racist. So now here, Black Lives Matter, standing with who? Not black folks, but Palestinians.
Viral. Since been deleted. An image of a paraglider with a Palestinian flag, and they tweeted, "That is all, that is it." The image says, "I stand with Palestine." Understanding the context is actually quite simple.
What?
Community Notes on Twitter gives us the information saying October 7th, 2023, Hamas terrorists attacked a music festival full of civilians without warning. They killed at least 260 and kidnapped an unknown number.
Wow.
They are not known for paragliding in other circumstances, so this post implies support of their activities.
Yeah, exactly. This is the same Black Lives Matter that many black Christians and white Christians supported. Many black just liberals supported. Many politicians supported. Many organizations supported. Many companies supported. many dang on media outlets support it. You couldn't say nothing about these folks. They were untouchable. And here we were out there saying the whole time, this right here is a Marxist organization. Y'all don't realize that? I mean, they're not even hiding it. Their behavior shows that they're Marxists. Come in, we shut this Mickey Ficky down. We shut this Mickey Ficky down. You know, harassing folks while they eat. Going in harassing businesses, burning down stuff. You don't recognize those signs of fascism? Huh? Well, you're misinterpreting what they're doing. Unbelievable. Full blown, we're Marxists, we're trained in Marxist conflict theory and this and that. And I'm going, they weren't hiding it. Y'all still supporting them, huh? So now let's see, maybe they meant something different by this picture right here, but I doubt it.
That's right, my friends. BLM Chicago's Twitter account. I don't know how many. Let's see how many. Are they very big? 60,000 followers. Overtly supporting the attack on civilians. And it's a wake-up call. A lot of people are now waking up to the news that the far left you supported are extremists.
There it is in my title. Oh, the woke got a rude awakening. Are we the baddies? Yes. And if you're not one of the baddies, you're just as bad as the baddies because you helped support the baddies. You sat back and you looked the other way, didn't say nothing. See, it ain't all the time where you got to tell your kid to do something bad. It's also ignoring it. It's also just letting it go, turning the deaf ear and a blind eye to it. You know, you're sitting there, you know, your kid's over there socking another kid because he wants to play in the sandbox and I want that bucket instead of asking or waiting his turn right in the eyeball and you act like you didn't see it. Next thing you know, he hit about 12 and he's still socking people. Next thing you know, the cops pull up on the scene circuit. You step out the car and he socks the cop, thrown in jail. You're like, why they do that to my baby? Why he ain't do nothing? No. Yeah, you played a part in that. You sat back and you watched your little baby do all of this stuff. And even if you weren't going, go get him, do it. You sat back and you looked away like, I don't see nothing. You took a little pride in that. And you go ahead and you produce this. So all of these folks that was woke, that now have a conscience, they're going, whoa, I think we might have been supporting the baddies. That means what? Are we the baddies?
Are violent, are terrorists. This, my friends, I think is a major shift in the culture war. And it is going to be brutal for Democrats. No question.
Brutal for Democrats. Now I get to insert my strategy. I hate to take advantage of a situation like this. However, I must. This is a moment where if I was the Republican Party, if I was the conservative press, if I had a press pass, I would be up at the Capitol waiting for every single Democrat leader to come out. Excuse me, Hakeem Jeffries. Excuse me. Do you still support Black Lives Matter? That's what I would do. Excuse me, Alexandria Cortez. Okay, Cortez. Do you still support Black Lives Matter? I will put that mic right on every single one of their noses. I would make them denounce Black Lives Matter all over the country. Every dang on Democrat that supported them. Every one of them. These people can't even say Black Lives Matter. Now I want to hear you say it. Say it loud. I'm black and I'm proud. I will put that mic right up their nostrils. I want to know, do you still support Black Lives Matter? Well, could you get the mic out my nose? I might be able to tell you. No, you can go ahead and tell me why the mic's up your nose. That's what I would do. I would force them to denounce Black Lives Matter. Because you know that's exactly what they would do to us. Do you support the white nationalist groups? Do you still support, Get them. What is the Republicans doing? I need a press pass. I need a press pass.
How many Democrats will now have to back away and reject the squad? End Wokeness tweeted 2 tweets, 2 images from David Weissman. And I have tremendous respect for David for this. I do.
Because he took one for the chin.
He says,
to the chin.
On May 4th, 2021, I will never stop saying Black Lives Matter and may even get a shirt myself.
And that's when he was under the influence of Black Lives Matter. That's right. He's hooked on it. Yeah, he thought he could never get off of it. But then he got a rude awakening.
And then on October 10th, just yesterday, he said, F them. Maybe the right was right about Black Lives Matter.
Well, darn tootin' we were right. We've been right about everything. That's why we're called the right. See, and you guys are off in left field. So here you have it. This guy had a rude awakening. Are we the baddies? Well, so now you don't like Black Lives Matter? I need a confession out of all of the companies that supported them. I would go to the NFL. I would go up there to Washington, D.C. that allowed them to paint Black Lives Matter on the streets. I would go to every company that donated to them. I would be all up in their grill asking, do you still support Black Lives? Are you willing to denounce Black Lives Matter, Amazon? Are you willing to denounce Black Lives Matter, the Walmart? That's what I want to know. I would destroy Black Lives Matter simply by forcing all the powers that empowered Black Lives Matter to denounce them. Boy, I'm smart.
It's a wake-up call because BLM, we're not talking about them saying the people of Palestine have been oppressed in an open-air prison and Israel are oppressors. No. They're outright saying this operation, which was terror, not military. And I'll stress this. I'll defer to Max Blumenthal to formulate my opinion. Okay. His opinion reserved for him. But he said, initially, while the Palestinians, Hamas, were targeting military bases, the music festival was a target of opportunity, and they know that kidnapping civilians grants them bargaining chips.
So that's what they justified.
I think it's fair to say his view on this is completely different from mine. But that's what he said. My takeaway from this is what? Yeah, it's terrorism. I'm sorry, that's what it is.
See, that's the proper assessment. That's the proper interpretation of it. You can dress it up any kind of way you want. You can call it the resistance. You can call it whatever you want. At the end of the day, I'm like, so basically terrorism? Well, no, it's we're resisting that method of resistance is terrorism. That's what that is. Well, okay, but not like real terrorism because we're the liberal woke left, and then our terrorism is not terrorism because it's justified by wokeness. No, it's terrorism. And any woke leftist that has a conscience should be able to wake up and see that, yeah, that is terrorism. And maybe I've been supporting the baddies.
I had this the other day. Perhaps naive, whatever, don't know, don't care. If Hamas ushered away the civilians, stood firm on the territory and said, this land belongs to the people of Palestine, or whatever it was, and engaged in a conflict directly with the Israeli military, it'd be very, very different.
Absolutely. They could have saved themselves all of the criticism, and yet the girl that was talking about, we fired 500 rockets and this and that. Okay. All right, y'all went and went toe-to-toe with the military, tried to make sure that the people were out of the way and all that, but instead, y'all went and attacked innocent people and then cowardly ran back to an area where all of your own innocent people are, knowing that Israel would respond and would possibly put your own citizens in jeopardy. So not only are you a terrorist, but you're a coward and you don't care enough about your own citizens. To whereas you didn't find a place to just go one-on-one with Israel and try to eliminate all of the fallout casualties, innocent casualties. But hey, that's not their style. And neither is it Black Lives Matter. So let's continue because this man's mad. And look who he calls out before we go.
It would be very different. Instead, it was a target of opportunity to kill civilians. For this, the far left, we see them for who they are. This is a shift in the culture war, as I was saying. As many in the neoliberal and liberal sides are now going to have to contend with the fact that you are overtly aligned with people who proudly cheer for this. In the streets. That's what's happening. Well, let's break this down. The New York Post reports a Black Lives Matter chapter in Chicago is under fire for seeming to celebrate Hamas attacks on Israeli civilians. Seeming to? They literally did. A disgusting and disgraceful social media post. The post on X, formerly Twitter, includes an image of a person paragliding with a Palestinian flag attached to its parachute with I Stand With Palestine written beneath.
Hard to misinterpret that. Hard to say, well, you know what? It could mean that they are now trying to broaden their activities to parachuting, and that, no, you can't misinterpret that. See, they went ahead and revealed who they really are. And anybody supports them is revealing who they really are. And now you got the folks who created this monster trying to distance themselves after creating the monster.
BLM Chicago also posted a number of cartoons depicting somebody expressing outrage over the attacks on Israel, while another calmly lists off talking points blaming Israel for the situation. This isn't about Hamas.
It's not.
This is about Palestinians' right to resist 75 years of Israeli settlers colonizing their native land. And that's it. They told us who they were, what they believed and what they wanted. The Marxist, the decolonized movement, and how many corporations stood behind this.
Darn right. How many corporations stood behind this? Give us a few. Give us a few before we go.
I am sickened and I am insulted, but I'm glad to see it. This is the importance of free speech. Imagine if Elon Musk said, no, we can't have this hate speech, and deleted it. No, the people must know. This is what Black Lives Matter is. And I want to give a great shout out to Amazon and Walmart and all the corporations that paraded around the BLM message when we knew for a very long time that Black Lives Matter leaders were deeply anti-Semitic.
So
music to my ears. Music to my eardrums right now. On my eardrum. Music to my ears. All of these companies out there supporting that garbage. Millions of dollars. You would have thought they would have woke up when all the money went missing. Found out right then, oh, this is a big fraud organization here, but we're going to continue to support this garbage. So, yeah, now somebody needs to track down all those organizations, go right to the PR department. Go right there and just be like, hey, listen, you guys gave $100 million to Black Lives Matter. Did you know you were pretty much supporting a terrorist group, a domestic terrorist group? Do you still support Black Lives Matter? That's what should happen. I want to hear some denouncements. And then I couldn't leave without my man Dave Rubin having a little opinion about somebody we all know and despise. Not all know and love, all know and despise.
Ilhan Omar, who is a Somali immigrant, first-generation immigrant into the United States, who has become powerful and influential here in this country and a congresswoman, and I believe her to be actually an enemy of the United States of America.
Now, don't mince words. Don't mince words, Dave. The enemy of the United States of America. But you know what? I'm going to broaden that statement a little further. The whole Democrat Party. The whole Democrat Party and, unfortunately, our liberal media and our so-called conservative media too, mainstream that is. So, yeah, you know what? I question her loyalty to the country along with her colleagues as well. She's just one of the ones that don't know how to hide it, okay? She's like Tony Montana. You know what? You need people like me, okay? Someone to point the finger and say, look, there goes the bad girl. So, yeah, she is the bad girl. But the rest of them are just as bad as she is. They just know how to hide it, okay?
People of Minnesota, I suppose, will have to decide if they want to reelect her or not. Here she is, finally chiming in on what's going on in Gaza. Reminder, Gaza doesn't have shelters or an iron dome, and to please pray for them. May peace prevail in the region and move us towards a moral awakening to care about human suffering we are seeing. Palestinians are human beings who have been besieged and are deserving of protection from the international community. Well, Palestinians are besieged, she's right, by Hamas. There's not one Israeli that lives in Gaza. They completely moved every Israeli out. There are about 8,000 Jews living there. Hitler would love the place. There's not one Jew, right? Like that's what Hitler wanted, right? Judenrein. There's none there. They left. They said, we want nothing to do with you. They left greenhouses. They left infrastructure.
But that don't sound like besieged. That doesn't sound like that to me. So let's see where Dave is going with this.
Hamas took over, they killed their opposition, and for all of these years, all of the billions and billions of dollars that Hamas got, and what did they build? They clearly built an incredibly effective guerrilla army instead of building, say, bomb shelters or an iron dome or anything else. She's just a...
Boy, he's about to find some choice words as we leave. So guys, if you're sensitive, okay, and you're sympathetic to Ilhan Omar, okay, please, this is a moment where you should turn your volume down. Because Dave Rubin, he couldn't, you see that face he got right there? That's that face of, should I say this? You know what? Forget it. It's greater than me. She's a what?
Communist. I don't know how to say it any other way.
Oh, Dave. Yeah, all of those choice beeps, they're justified. She's just a communist, a bunch of beep, just hit the button. Beep. That's how many Mickey Fickies were dropped out of his mouth. So, guys, now we see what we're dealing with. And you know what? I'm going to let this last part just play. This guy. Now, the crazy part is he's played his part in censorship, manipulation of the media and stuff. But for some reason, his stomach right here can't stomach what is going on with the left. And once again, he's perturbed over all of these liberals and all of these radicals' responses, but yet him and many others have been promoting this crap. But he makes a good point as we close. I'm not even going to play all of what he's saying.
A defensive measure against an organization that is committed to one thing: killing Jews. Not a peaceful resolution of a conflict, but murdering Jews.
And that right there is the difference. See, I said it a couple of days ago. I said, if Iran, Palestine, Hamas, any of the countries that hate the Jews, if they ever were able to get the Jews to tap out, to get the Jews to say, you know what, fine, y'all take whatever, just leave us be as a people, do you think that they would say, good, now that we got this land, everything's good, we're going to go and have a peaceful resolution, and we want you all to be treated fairly and kind? Or do you think these people will do some of the worst things to the Jews that we've seen since the Holocaust? I got a feeling when you hate people for just who they are, you will not tolerate them. You won't tolerate them. See, this is greater than y'all just took our land. See, if it was just about the land, you wouldn't have went in there and just rejoice at slaughtering Jews. That was not a military mission. That was just a slaughtering. That's all it was. This has nothing to do with military. This is just to provoke all of Israel to say, now we're going to light y'all tails up. But at the same time, it's a way for us to just feel good about, look what we're doing to these Jews. See, that was personal. That right there, to do something like that to innocent human beings, it's malicious. That's not military strategy. What type of army person or military person would feel honorable in doing something like that? Yeah, you're a tough guy. Yeah. You shot a woman running away. You went and burned a house down with an old lady inside of it. Yeah, you shooting kids, raping women. Yeah, tough military guys, right? So that was not a military strategy. It was personal. It was vindictive. It was evil. It was terroristic. It was malicious. All of the horrific adjectives you could come up with. That's what that was. And yet you got people across the country and the world going, yay, free Palestine, the resistance. If that's what the resistance looks like, I would hate to see these people get power and have control. Because boy, no telling what they would do to everybody else. So God bless y'all. God bless America. Hopefully we could turn this ship around by one, not supporting all of this crazy radical wokeness. Two, putting a pressure on some of these supporters of it. That's the key. We don't stick them in the gut when they're down. That's what we need to do. Right now, we have an opportunity, and I don't have a big enough platform or the resources to do what I envision could really hurt this radical woke left movement, which is now you got them tenderized and sensitive over this situation, and they've supported a lot of this crap. Now, the question is hold them accountable for supporting it. Don't let them get away with just going, we condemn the actions in Hamas and Palestine. Or we condemn. No. Don't just leave it there. Don't give these major corporations, these politicians, the easy route out just to focus on what they did over there. Because when you look at what's going on here in our country and the reaction and insensitivity to what happened to those innocent people, they help create that too. The organizations that they support. Take that mic, put it in their face, and make them denounce it, because they would do it to us. They would do it to us. And then hopefully we won't see a Black Lives Matter rise again after all of the people who gave them millions of dollars had to denounce them. Nobody will want to touch it with a 10-foot pole. So God bless y'all. God bless America. And instead of you giving $10 million to Black Lives Matter, you can give all of those $10 million to Kevin's Corner, and maybe I can get a press pass and go and ask these companies that stuff. The link is below this video. All you got to do is click on it. And if you want to support the channel, you can do that. And otherwise, please continue to share, watch my videos, follow me on all the other platforms. What else did I forget? Oh, this number. Yeah, let's see. What number we're talking about? Text MAGA to 330-974-4607 so you can stay in touch. We'll confirm that you are part of Kevin's Corner, and we'll go from there and subscribe to my alternative channel. Now, with that being said, God bless America, the land of the crazy woke folks. Yeah. See y'all next time in Kevin's Corner. Take care.